Hey, what's going on, CoinOpTV subscribers? Robert Welkner here with another CoinOpTV live and interactive show. We are talking all things Pokemon Go. Gotta catch them all. I am the noob right here, and joining me today is the expert, or the more, fleshed out Pokemaster there, Abe. How are you doing, Abe? Good to see you,
What's up,
sir.
everybody? Yeah, no, it's great. I'm glad to be here. Glad to talk to you about all things Pokemon. I know we've had a little venture together before. This is for now everybody, and then also still to help you, Rob. But anyways, we're gonna make this work.
Yes. I kind of feel like I was playing Lego Dimensions yesterday, and I was getting stuck in areas, and I was asking chat, and there was people like giving me tips and stuff. I almost feel like the whole live streaming thing is really just therapeutical for me to sort of figure out how to solve games, how to become better. Is that selfish of me, Abe, to think that way?
No, I mean, if you have the avenue, might as well take advantage of it. If you have voices around you while you're playing, do it. Take all the advice you can.
Yes. I don't have any friends that sit on the couch next to me to help me out. So I need you guys. And speaking of that, let me give some quick shout outs. We are live, we're interactive. Please no trolling, please no hating, please no spamming, or else we gotta moderate and distracts me from the chat. We got Ant TV, we got Derek, we got Edward, who says he's Team Instinct also, Gamers Haven, Jacob, Jonathan, Marnes, Real Pixel Games, Rency Z was in the chat yesterday, Seth, Small Peridol 101, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Toy Movie Game Bros, who just got back from Comic-Con, and Vagabond Peak. Some of you guys, I haven't seen you before. I usually live stream at 12 p.m. Pacific Coast time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. in the UK. Let me get a graphic up here. Let's talk some Pokemon with Abe. So we're both Team Instinct. I joined because Abe was like, hey, I'm Team Instinct. It's the way to go. We'll get that out of the way, right up front. Abe, this is a good decision that we made.
I think so. I mean, we're the underdogs. I like being the underdog. I also think we're, it's Zapdos. I mean, the truth is, a lot of people who aren't huge with Pokemon, they just picked the faction based on the silhouette of the leader or the color. But a lot of people who aren't Pokemon fans didn't really realize that the actual logo are the legendary birds from the original Pokemon series. And I've always loved Zapdos. He was the electric bird, and Articuno and Moltres are great too, but it's electricity, man. It's amazing. And yeah, we are the underdog, but so far I've been seeing a lot of more instinct gyms being taken over. But don't get me wrong, Valor is awesome, Mystic is awesome, everybody's cool. Let's not lose sight that on all the Pokemon games, usually you're fighting against all the other teams, Team Rocket, Team Aqua, Team Magma. So usually having a team makes you the bad guy. But in this game, we're all good. We're all good people. We're all trying to do the same thing and catch all Pokemon. So just have some fun. Having a little rivalry is cool. But, just keep it civil.
Yes. No. I was talking to a friend of mine who's going back to New York City for a trip, a vacation, and he's never been to New York City before. And I'm from New York. I got my little Brooklyn shirt there. And I was telling him, I was like, hey, if you're like in a bar or club and there's a fight about to go down, just put up your hands and go like, whoa, hey, before we brawl, what team are you guys on Pokemon Go? See if we could settle that. You could be on the same team, or you might need to battle it in a gym or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
and we'll talk more about the teams, maybe a little later. I just wanted to kind of establish that. Now I'm on level 9. Abe is further along than me. What level are you on in the game?
22.
22. Cool. Yeah. So that's how many hours would you say you've logged so far?
A lot. I mean, I've lost track. I usually have a lot of downtime in between shows. I'm usually putting on some shows where I work, and so in between, I have plenty of time to go ahead and just go catch them all.
So let's talk Pokemon. It is it's been probably the biggest phenomenon of the year. It's kind of captured the hearts and souls of the casual gamer, the hardcore gamer, anybody who's got a phone. It's free. It's been out for a couple weeks now, and I wanted to wait till I actually could dive in, play with it a little more, and check it out. So Abe, what was your first impressions when you sort of installed? You got to see the game from the first, the graphics and sound.
Well, the first impression was pure frustration because it would never work. But they've gotten better. They've resolved a lot of the issues with the servers, and it's great. It's fun. It definitely plays differently than your traditional Pokemon game. For those who aren't familiar with the way the Pokemon games usually play, you usually catch the Pokemon by battling with your own Pokemon. This one, you're just strictly just throwing the ball and trying to catch it. And it also has combat power instead of levels, but still, it's still fun. It's great. It uses your geographical map to locate Pokemon. There's some regional exclusive Pokemon you can't get, like I'm envious. My girlfriend's out in Europe right now, and she can get Mr. Mime. We can't get him here in America, so it's like there's a lot of cool things that they've integrated in this game. But ultimately, I love it. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I've played almost every single game. So this was a welcome game into my phone. Definitely, if my phone could play it, I'm gonna play it. So
Yeah, that's been the biggest hiccup is servers being down, a game freezing right after you catch a Pokemon. So like I'm been around and I've sort of seen Pokemon animation, played a little bit here and there, some Pocket Monster love throughout the years. Not really hardcore. I like the amiibo, the little the amiibo figures, and collecting those for the different Pokemon. I think the game looks fun. It looks great. I was introduced to Ingress prior, so I was a little familiar with kind of the GPS strategy in that game. You had to sort of hack different points, and in this one you have sort of poke gyms and collecting. So it's a little familiar. Ingress doesn't look as slick as this though. It looks really cool. So let's talk like some of the visuals and stuff. Abe, do you need to keep the AR on or not? Is there a benefit or anything like that?
Okay, so let's go with that first. A lot of people who have not realized that you can turn off your AR. Don't worry if you are if you don't want to play this game because you're afraid people are looking at you like you're trying to take pictures of them. There is an option when you have the Pokemon up. There's a little button on the top right that says AR, like you said. And you can turn that off, and it'll immediately center the Pokemon on your screen, and it gives it like a little grassy background, so you don't have to have whatever is in front of your camera on the screen at all times. But the cool thing about not having AR on, you basically you can literally have to focus on where the Pokemon is, and you can take cool pictures of your friends with it. Like for example, the Cloyster in the center there. You're at the boardwalk, and he's popping up. That's in real time. So that's the cool thing about having it with the camera on thing. But you can always turn it off, and it'll have the little background, like I said, a little grassy background. And it also centers your Pokemon in the center, so it makes it a lot easier to catch as well, as opposed to you having to point your phone in a certain direction. But it's cool. You definitely there's an option for every type of player. So.
Yeah, I'm AR-less, just because it was a little weird. I was like at UCLA, and I was like pointing my phone at like the bathroom door like this. So I thought, if I take off the AR, then I can at least hold my phone down,
exactly.
In my waist. We got some more people jumping in. Francisco, Anthony, Dakari says he's level 99. I don't believe him, but maybe he is.
Pictures or never happened.
Tweet me a picture of you at level 99 before we do that. So talked a little bit about the look. What about the sounds? I play with the sounds off. I have the vibration on. What's some tips and tricks with that? I know there's like the standby mode. You kind of turn your phone upside down. How's that work?
I've usually play with the sound off, but I do turn it on when it's a place where I can't have it on, and it's great because it has a lot of the traditional music from your original Pokemon games. It gives you a little bit of nostalgia, so it's always great. Even when you're evolving them, you have that little bit of the same type of sound from the games as well. The putting the phone upside down thing, what you're talking about is a power save mode, and a lot of people don't know what it does. It's not gonna really, it's not like a save my battery power while you're using it. It's more so for people who want to keep it open, and we'll talk about tips later. But like if you want to keep your app open and see if it vibrates if a Pokemon shows up, or if you're trying to hatch your eggs because you need to take steps, you can put the power save mode on and turn your phone upside down, so it'll actually kind of like put the phone on sleep mode but keep the app open. So that's the only use of that battery save mode. But otherwise, I have other tips for having to play the game to use your battery and everything like that. But yeah, the sounds is great. It's definitely very traditional for a game that's not really made by Nintendo or your traditional Game Freak or whatnot. It's pretty accurate. Even the Pokemon sounds are pretty good from the original games. So
yeah, I have sampled the sounds here and there, and they sound great. I'm just usually in public walking around my phone. I want to keep the volume down and the vibrate.
Exactly.
Rency Z in chat says, where do I get eggs? So let's talk about some eggs.
Sure, no problem. Okay. So I guess we can go with the first tip. One of the tips I was going to talk about with eggs. Pokestops are the places where you see that little blue marker on your map, and then once you're close enough, it'll make it look like the Pokemon. The Pokeball logo. You spin it, it gives you items, it gives you Pokeballs, and it obviously gives you eggs. That's where you get your eggs. So yeah, those are it right there. These are all activated. Like you can see the actual Pokeball logo, but if you look past them, the little blue squares. Those are other Pokestops you can go. Once you're close enough, it'll actually, open up like this, like the Pokeball, and then that's when you can click it, and then you spin the little image, and it'll drop those items. But like I said, that's also where Pokemon eggs will drop. Sometimes you also get like an egg rewarded to you when you level up. It doesn't happen all the time, but it has happened before. But mostly, this is your way to go. As far as eggs go, there are different types of levels of eggs. There's a 2 kilometer, 5 kilometer, and a 10 kilometer. And what that means is you basically have to walk that distance in order for your egg to hatch. Keep in mind, you have to incubate the egg, and then we can talk about that as well. Constantly check whether you have an incubator or not, because you definitely have one that you can use an infinite amount of times, but sometimes when you level up, you don't realize that they gave you new incubators. So sometimes you can actually be incubating 2, even 3 at a time. Or you can, spend real money or defend a gym and earn coins, and that way you can buy some more incubators to make it faster. But keep in mind, you have to move in order for you to hatch these eggs. It's going to keep track of it.
Can you put this on in a suitcase in your trunk in the car and just drive, from one side of town to the other?
That's exactly what I was going to talk about right now. There are ways that people have figured out to cheat the system. However, you do have to go at a certain speed. You can't go fast. If you go fast, like for example, like you said on a car, it's not going to really pick it up because it's not only using your pedometer on your phone, but it's also using your GPS location. So they have to basically sync up in order for it to work. If it's going too fast, it's not going to register. If you're going slow enough, it will. So if you're on a bus or if you're, on a bike, a skateboard or something, if you want to keep it open, you can. If you're going for a nice little walk, it also will help out as well. If you're just working like I do, I'm constantly walking around all over the place and just keep it in my pocket, and it's working great. But yeah,
I saw I think Mashable. Mashable is one of these tech companies did a video where they like taped their phone on like a turntable and they just like let it spin around, and that was like slow, like a gimmick, kind of a hack around.
I can tell you more. There was a recent video that I'm trying to remember who put that up, but Japan just recently got the game, and they're trying to catch up to everybody. So they have people putting their phones on a little train set, and it's constantly going in circles. They have these 3 friends that are like lying down on the floor, and they're on, I guess it's a nice like marble or tile floor, and they're literally just sliding their phones to each other back and forth. So it's like just to have them travel a distance. But yeah, people are doing a lot of things, putting them on fans, turntables, like you said. There's ways to get by it, but you know what? If you want to get some exercise in, just go for a walk. There's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, it's the benefit of taking it with you and going for a walk as opposed to putting it on a little train set or a fan. You get to walk past Pokestops where you can go ahead and collect free Pokeballs, free items, free eggs. So it kind of makes more sense to do it that way. And as far as what you said about putting it in your car, that's fine. You can do that too if you're in traffic and it's slow. It's beautiful, but don't Pokemon Go and drive, because there's already been accidents. So just don't do it.
We don't recommend that.
I was gonna say just stay on topic, and I'll say this really quick. But I was walking from work, and there was a guy driving really slowly, kind of almost looked suspicious, like he was very predatory or something, like he was scoping the scene out. And I finally, you know, walked by his car, and he literally was stopping, and he had his phone in the center dash, and he was doing this motion. And I was like, oh goodness, this guy is literally playing Pokemon Go in his car. So yeah, just don't do it. I know a lot of people are tempted, but don't do it. It's not worth it. You know, if you get in an accident, then that's going to cost you more. So.
What is we're gonna probably jump around with some of the Q&A because I want to sort of, you know, respond to questions in chat too. TV says, is Pikachu rare? Is Pikachu rare? And if he is or if he isn't, who are some of the rares we should be trying to grab?
Pikachu, I don't want to say he's rare. He's not as plentiful as Pidgey or Ekans or Rattata, but he's definitely harder to catch. And the only reason why I say that is he's also you have medals that you can earn in this game, and one of them is about catching Pikachu, a certain amount of Pikachus. They are definitely harder to catch. Sometimes I'll have to entice them with raspberries, which is another item you can get from Pokestops. Just entice them to make them more easier to catch. Sometimes I do the spinning mode with the Pokeball and arch the throw, so that way you have more likelihood of catching them as well. But yeah, he's a little bit more difficult. Definitely. He's not as rare, though, because you will find him a lot. It's just not as much as Pidgey or the other ones that I was talking about. But he's a cool one. He's definitely a good one to catch. So.
Yeah, I caught Pikachu pretty early on. A Squirtle, Pikachu. Some of these I've kind of gotten a little early on. Charmander and stuff like that. So let's talk about the ball and the flick and the motion. You know, since you're giving me tips.
Okay.
You know, do I wait for the little ring? I see the ring kind of shrink down a bit.
Okay. Well, you're talking about two different things, so I'll explain both of them real quick. First off, the Pokeball. You can easily just flick it forward, and it'll just go a nice little simple arch. To increase your likelihood of catching them, and also to earn extra experience. If you have a little spinning motion on the Pokeball before you flick it, it'll actually spin the ball and it'll curve. So if you actually throw it in a certain direction and it'll curve right back into where the Pokemon is, then you'll have a higher likelihood of catching it, and also you earn extra experience, like I said. Now, as far as what you're talking about, the circle. Okay, there's this ever-expanding circle where the Pokemon is, and it'll keep growing and growing, and then it'll start over again from the center and growing, or actually goes inward, sorry, not outward. There's two different things about that. One is if you throw the Pokeball within that circle, you get more experience, like you get a reward for like throwing an excellent or a great or whatnot. So you definitely get more experience. And it's also easier to catch. So the likelihood of you catching it, if you got it right in that small little circle, that colored circle, then you can catch it easier. Now, as far as the color goes, the color dictates how much harder it is to catch them. Green, it's a lot easier. Yellow, it's a little bit harder. Orange, it's even harder. And then red, it's really hard. Now, the red ones, the orange ones, usually what I do is I'll definitely feed them a raspberry first to, have them like me a little bit more. And then if you are at a higher level, and this is another topic that we're talking about, you also have better quality Pokeballs. Everybody starts with the regular red and white Pokeball. I believe when you hit level 12, you earn the Great Ball, which is a blue and white ball, and then there's like two little red marks on it. And then when you hit level 20, you unlock the Ultra Ball, and the Ultra Ball is black, white, and yellow little accents to it. But
yes, Abe and I went Pokemon Go hunting, and I was like, "Hey, your ball is like a different color. How was that?" Yeah, I was Team Jelly, suddenly there.
Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously, the higher level you go, the better Pokemon you catch, the rarer Pokemon become more available to you, and also, obviously, you get better items as well. But yeah, that's definitely answering that question. Do you have another question, or should we go into like more tips and stuff?
Yeah. Well, I want to see Danny. We'll sort of let the chat room dictate a little bit of maybe our direction. So Danny says, how do you get incense? So let's talk about some of your accessories, your supplies, your backpack.
So incense, I believe you start off with 1 or 2, I believe. When you level up, sometimes you earn incense. And And then the other option that you have is either using real money or defending a gym and earning the gold coins that you can buy more incense from it. But usually the more you level, the more you unlock. You'll get the incense. You'll also get the Pokemon lures, which you can put on Pokestops, and that makes that'll attract Pokemon to those stops as well. So yeah, you earn them with leveling up. Leveling up usually unlocks items, so you usually get like rewarded Pokeballs, raspberries, potions, and whatnot. So.
Now, what I've heard the there's two schools of thoughts, Abe, and I want you to chime in on this. But the incense, it sort of attracts Pokemon to you for like about 30 minutes, I think. Now, I was originally think, hey, I'll just sit on my butt and have them come to me. But I've heard the school of thought is to actually do the incense while you're walking because it sort of attracts more to you. Is there a scientific theory to this?
I believe both of those answers are correct. Because I've done both. Definitely you run into more while you're walking because the way the app works is there are Pokemon in designated areas and they're on a timer. And again, they use a geographical map. So they're constantly reappearing somewhere. So yeah, you have the likelihood of running into more while you're walking. But the incense works regardless whether you're walking or not. You can literally sit on your couch, watch TV, and just wait for your phone to vibrate. And the incense attracts them to you. That's what it does. So it's definitely, it's definitely convenient for every type of player, whether you just don't want to go anywhere or whether you want to go for a walk. But again, the walk is always the way to go because you can get more items that way. So.
Let me see. I'm looking at my phone here. We got a question in chat. AntTV521 says, how many Pokemon do you have? I have caught 33, and I've seen 37. Abe, do you know off the top of your head how many you've caught?
Have I caught? Okay, that question can be...
I'll give you a second to ramp that up.
I have mine open. Like technically the way the Pokemon the Pokédex reads is a little inaccurate. I mean, the caught means what you've really like have on your Pokédex registered and seen that you didn't catch. But technically I've caught like thousands of Pokemon already because I've transferred.
Oh yeah, so this is like
as far as the Pokédex goes.
Like when you say caught like 33, it's like, well, I've caught that the Pokédex, Pokemon species, but like we've both, I'm sure Abe's caught 1,000. I've probably caught 500 or something or whatever. Maybe
from
more.
The Pokédex Go, I'm at 99. I'm both. I have a few that I'm sure I'm technically really at about 112-ish or something, and I'll explain that. It's another tip that I have that I was going to explain. Yeah, anyways, well, I'll get into that in a second. But right now, currently, my Pokédex says 99, but I have plenty to evolve.
Yes, we gotta catch them, we gotta evolve them. So let's talk about evolving. Is that an okay segue there? So I've evolved a few of them.
Okay.
Should you be trying to evolve all of your Pokemon or just certain specific ones?
Okay. All right, so let's dive into evolution, and then I'll get into a few of these tips because it helps out. Definitely, you want to evolve your Pokemon because if you evolve your Pokemon, then you unlock the the higher evolutions, and the higher evolutions not only will register on your Pokédex, but they usually have higher combat power. The question is when you should evolve them. That was going to be part of my tip. Definitely evolving is great for you because you earn experience. But if you want to earn experience at a faster time so you can level up faster, the way I call this tip is love your Pidgeys. And it's funny that you put one up right now, a picture with a Pidgey. And I was trying to explain this to Rob last time I saw him while we were doing this. I usually catch a Pokemon that's readily available. Usually Pidgey shows up all the time. I know for some people it could be an Ekans, it could be a Rattata, and whatnot. But I catch every Pidgey that I see, and the only reason why I do that is because every Pidgey that you catch, or every Pokemon that you catch, you earn 3 candies of that Pokemon. You need a certain amount of candies in order for you to evolve your Pokemon. Now keep in mind, when you evolve a Pokemon, you earn experience. You earn experience, you level up. Okay. Well, what I do is, and the reason why I said I'm like at about 112, not at 99 on my Pokédex, is because I'm stockpiling all the Pokemon that I have that need to evolve up to a point where I have so many that I can evolve constantly, and I'm earning experience like crazy. But there's a reason why I do it this way. So first off, Pidgey is readily available, so I catch tons of Pidgeys, and then once I'm ready to finally evolve everybody, I do it all at once. And here's the kicker. There's an item that you can earn, and it's called a lucky egg. Lucky egg works exactly like incense does, where it's on a timer. It's on a 30-minute timer, except it doesn't attract Pokemon. It doesn't do that. What lucky egg does is it doubles your experience earned in those 30 minutes. So for those who are trying to level up quickly, what you do is you evolve all those Pidgeys that you have stockpiled in your inventory, and then you evolve all the Pokemon that you are keeping in your inventory. You're evolving them all while you have the lucky egg up. So for example, when you evolve a Pidgey, you earn 500 experience points. Well, now I just earned 1,000. Now imagine all the Pidgeys that I catch and all the candies that you get from catching them. You evolve them all at one time. You can level up 2, maybe 3 levels all within those 30 minutes. But that's depending on how much you have stockpiled as far as leveling goes. Now I know it sounds complicating a little bit, but trust me, you'll get the point once you finally start to earn all these lucky eggs, all these extra incense, all these extra items, just because you're just constantly leveling. And the final tip that I have too is definitely evolve your highest CP rating Pokemon, and not to use the power up button. You know, there's an evolve button and then there's a power up button.
Yes.
Do not power up your Pokemon until you're a level 20 plus. And the reason why I say that is if you power up a Pokemon that you caught at level 5, you're easily going to catch a Pokemon that's a lower evolution, that's higher combat power than the one that you powered up. For example, I remember when I first started playing the game, I powered up, I think I ended up catching a Charizard in the wild, which is awesome. But he was only a 245 CP rating. Well, now that I'm a higher level, I caught a Charmander on that was 400 and something CP rating. That's already higher than the Charizard that I caught. And I powered him up thinking that, he was going to be my powerful Pokemon. So definitely wait to power up your Pokemon until I suggest after level 20. Because that's when you start running into the high level Pokemon. Like I've already caught a Pokemon that was I think it was an Arcanine at 1200 CP rating just in the wild. So imagine if you level one up that way. You catch a Growlithe and you level him up. Then it's going to be even higher. So yeah, that's a bunch of great pointers there, all that connect to each other about evolving and in candies and whatnot. So
all right, and if there was a lot of information to absorb there, this will be obviously archived on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoinOpTV, and you can tweet Abe if you have specific questions. Let me do some rapid fire questions here.
Go for it.
RenCZ says my internet is really slow. Any tips?
If your internet's really slow, and if you're talking about at home, there's definitely a lot of Wi-Fi places you can go to that have great internet. If you have a great cell phone provider, you can turn off Wi-Fi and just go off of your data. Now, keep in mind, make sure parents know that you're using data, or if you have unlimited data, then go crazy. But who's the company that has? Isn't there a company that's doing like a promotion? Oh, T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. So if you have T-Mobile, you get some free data.
They give you Pokemon Go data, yeah. But you know what? This is great, and this is I'm glad that you brought this question up because there are now businesses that are taking advantage of the craze of Pokemon Go, and they're literally posting up on their windows saying, "Hey, come on here. We're a Pokestop. Use our free Wi-Fi." They're letting you use their internet service just so you can play this game. So there's definitely options out there for you. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But if your internet is not that great at home, definitely go out, get some steps in, hatch your eggs. This is the way to do it. So
All right, another question from chat. And we're going to talk, after we get rid of this rapid fire questions, we're going to talk about gyms and fighting. Sticks around for that. So Small Peridot 101 says, what's your favorite Pokemon you caught? I would say like Squirtle and Pikachu. I don't know if those are the most powerful, but for me, those are just like classic, iconic ones. And it was great to have them in my collection. You're probably a little farther along than me, Abe.
Yeah. Favorite one that I've caught? Oh, man, that's a tough question. Probably Chansey. And the only reason why I say Chansey is because she eluded me 2 different times, and it was like so frustrating. But finally, when I got the catcher, it was great. So it's definitely one of my more memorable catches. If I need to say, if I need to clarify. But as far as my favorite Pokemon goes, it's definitely my Vaporeon. Yeah. But anyways, we'll talk about it later.
All right, let me do one more from chat, and then we'll move ahead to talking about some gyms. Nick VW says, should I use incense and a lure at the same time? We got the lure strategy. We talked about incense and eggs earlier. Is there a lure strategy?
I would say if you're close to a Pokestop and you're going to be like within the range of it, and you pop an incense, that's great. You can, because it does. I have done that before at work. One of the shows that I put on happens to be a Pokestop, and I basically one of the audience people put up a lure, and I popped an incense, and I must have caught at least, I don't know, 20 some Pokemon within that. So yeah, it definitely works. Now, I have to say, though, it's not 100% bulletproof, because I have noticed that at certain times of days, I feel like I wasted my incense because it's not consistent. But does it work? Absolutely. It's just, unfortunately, it's random. So yeah, definitely use them if you want to, but use them sparingly, because putting up the modules, the lures, those are harder to earn than incense, I think. I mean, from what I've noticed. So. But that's just my personal take.
All right, awesome. Thanks for all those tips there and the comments in chat. Okay, so let's move to once you start leveling up, you're past level 5. You captured some Pokemon, you've sort of evolved, you powered up. You see all these gyms. We got these big giant structures that are gyms. There's lights flashing. There's a Pokemon on the top, like a statue. So how do we approach the gym? When should we jump in and start fighting? And give us some gym strategies there. We'll take it through with the beginners, and then if you have a couple advanced tidbits, go ahead and share those.
All right, sure. So you can basically join the gym, or you can even battle in the gym, but obviously you have to join a faction. When you hit level 5, once you hit level 5, you're gonna have this little story thing. You have Professor Willow show up and he's talking to you about, oh, now you can battle in the gym, and then he introduces your 3 team leaders. That's when you can choose a side. We'll go into that detail later. But once you choose your side, you basically end up going, you can go to a gym and you can basically battle. Now, keep in mind, because this game has been out just for a little bit now, some people are higher level. They have higher combat power Pokemon in their gyms. So it might be a little bit harder to defeat them. But keep in mind, you can help either beef up your gym's rating, or you can take it over. So let me explain that. Let's say, like Rob and I were Team Instinct, that's the yellow team. If we see a gym that's a different color, we can basically try to take that gym over. And depending on what level it's on, we might need to battle it several times. We might need to battle it once. But basically what's going to happen is when you decide to battle it, there's going to be a little button you hit on the right that says, go ahead and try to take over the gym or whatever. It's going to suggest the 6 Pokemon that are the best against this primary Pokemon that's defending the gym. So you can definitely use those, or you can actually swap them out by clicking each one. But anyways, once you're in, you start the battle, and this is not like your traditional Pokemon battle on your Nintendo system. This is strictly just tap, 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 tap. The main attack, you tap. You keep tapping the enemy Pokemon. Now, what you'll notice under the health bar, there's also a special attack. You'll see that little meter start to fill up below your health bar. That's the special attack. Once it's filled, you can actually, instead of just tapping, you hold down. You push your screen and hold down your finger on it, and it's gonna unleash the special ability. And then you can continue tapping onto your enemy or whatever. But once you take out that Pokemon, again, depending on the level of the gym, either you take it, you wipe it out, and then you can add one of your Pokemon to take it over, or you have to continuously battle it in order for you to lower its rating and then battle it. Now, as far as if it's a gym that you are in a random place, you find the gym, it happens to be part of your team already. You can basically battle it with one of your Pokemon, and if you defeat the Pokemon there, you add the rating of the gym, so it's harder to capture by the other two teams. And if you increase the level of the gym, you can actually add one of your Pokemon on there. So it just makes it even, it's more reinforced, and you can actually keep that gym there. Now, the cool thing about having a strong Pokemon defending a gym is if somebody tries to battle it, and they don't, and you win, you basically earn these gold coins. These gold coins are the ones that are going to enable you to buy more incense, buy more lures, buy more incubators or Pokeballs. Instead of having to spend real money, you can actually earn the coins by defending a gym. So that's the cool thing about gyms. And I think there was one more thing that I was going to mention that I'm trying to remember, and I don't know why I'm not remembering it. But as far as gyms go, oh yeah, that's right.
Did you mention dodging when you?
No, I didn't mention dodging, and I just remember the other thing. While you are battling, and you're being constantly attacked, and you're at a lower level, and you feel undermatched, you can definitely dodge their attack by swiping to the sides. So you can keep swiping, either side, and your Pokemon will actually jump to the side, and it'll dodge the attack. But the other thing that I remember that I want to bring up is that when you decide to leave a Pokemon at a gym, it's going to say you can't use this Pokemon, and it's you can't do anything with it. Don't worry, you're not going to lose the Pokemon. What's going to happen is the little, Rob brought up the picture in a second ago. There will be a little gym logo on that Pokemon. Once that Pokemon gets taken down, like defeated, it'll show up as available again on your inventory. So don't be afraid that once you take over a gym and you leave your Pokemon, you're leaving your best Pokemon behind, which is something that you want to do, but he's going to come back to you no matter what. So you don't lose a Pokemon in that way. But anyways, yeah, that's all I can think of for gyms at this point.
All right.
But definitely don't, if it's a low-level gym, then go ahead and battle it at any level, because you can technically take it at any level. But if it's a high-level gym, don't even bother, because you're just going to waste your items. So yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to waste, because you'll waste your heal and your revive and all that. You want to kind of hold on to that. Let's see. In chat, we get Sean says, what was your starter Pokemon? So mine was Charmander. Do you remember your starter Pokemon?
Charmander as well. Definitely. Yeah. I love Charmander. Kind of wish it was Squirtle, because I've had of Charmanders all over where I live, but unfortunately I still have only one Squirtle. But still, no, Charmander was definitely my choice.
That's a good one. And then Real Pixel Gamer says in chat, Rob, how do I get a Dragonite? Is that a rare one there?
Yeah, Dragonite is basically it's one of the final Pokemon of the 151. There's two ways of getting one. The harder way, obviously, is catching a bunch of Dratinis and evolving them to Dragonairs, and then evolving that into a Dragonite. Or be lucky. Unfortunately, I've been in the wrong place at the wrong time like 3 times already, where there's 2 different shows that I work, and one show in that area there was a Dragonite, and I was working the other show, so I couldn't go catch it. And then the other day I was working, I was on the opposite show, and then the other show had the Dragonite. So yeah. You can definitely catch a Dragonite in the wild, or you can evolve one from a Dratini to a Dragonair to a Dragonite. But they're out there. Don't worry. Trust me, this game isn't going anywhere. You will eventually catch it. I've been seeing more and more rare Pokemon show up for me the higher level that I am. So if you are at a lower level, don't expect to see a Dragonite anytime soon. But definitely start to level up, and definitely use those tips that I told you about. Saving all your Pidgeys or saving all your evolutions, and then putting a lucky egg up when you evolve. That way you get a lot of experience, because the faster you level up, the rarer Pokemon show up for you. So yeah.
All right, awesome, good question. There's some chat. Okay, so if you guys, we're gonna talk about some team stuff in just a second. But if you guys, like this Pokemon Go chatter with me and Abe, let us know in the archive, in the comments, share the link online, tweet it. So maybe we'll do more of these, or maybe as I grow and become a little less noobish, we can talk more advanced strategies and things like that. So let's wrap it up with talking about the team. So Abe and I are both Team Instinct. We got love for the other teams and the other people out there, but we got a brawl. Let me get my graphic up here. So Abe, let's just recap the names of the teams, then the special, what you get from each team, or if there's a strategy or not a strategy.
Okay. basically, you know, obviously you have Team Instinct, which is the one on the far left, the yellow. I believe
Which
his
is
name is.
the tallest person on the screen. We'll just point out also.
Well, he's also the only male. His name is Spark, I believe. They revealed their names the other day. I wasn't no. The only reason why I said that, I wasn't sure if the one in the middle was a shorter male or a female. It was kind of hard to tell. But the other two are female, obviously. The one in the middle is Team Mystic. They're also, I think, the team with the most members. And then you also have Team Valor on the right side, and that's the red team. But the other graphic that you have, if you can pull that one up, just so you know what I'm talking about, why I chose my team. So these are the 3 legendary birds from the original Pokemon series. These aren't available yet in Pokemon Go. It'd be like an event type of thing. You have Moltres, which is the fire Pokemon on the left, which is with Valor. You have Zapdos, which is the one that for Team Instinct in the center. That's the electric Pokemon. And you have Articuno, which is the I would say the water ice Pokemon on the right. I think it's more water than ice, but I've seen ice attacks for her. Yeah, those are. I made my choice based on this because I love Zapdos. Anyways, yeah, these are the 3 teams. Now, as far as the benefits go, this is what you really, really need to think hard about when you make your choice. Okay, there's absolutely no benefit to what team you choose. That's why there's really no point into what team you choose. If you like a better color, go with the favorite color. If you like a different bird, go with your different bird. If you like the way your leader looks, go with that. Or if your friends are a certain color, go that way. But the truth is, there are definitely, you know, the only advantage is if there are more Mystic out there, then technically there are more Mystic gyms if they've taken them over more. But then again, honestly, I've noticed every day it's always different. Sometimes there are more Valor that have taken over the local gyms around my area. One day I drove to work and all the gyms were Instinct. And it was funny because there was a recent article saying how the Instinct is the underdog because there's less of us than there are the other 2 teams. But yet there's a lot of Instinct gyms that have been taken over. So again, honestly, it really doesn't matter. The cool thing about this game is that you have a choice. You definitely all have the same possibility of catching stuff, aside from the regional Pokemon, which is, I guess, the last thing we can talk about too. It's really quick. But yeah, there's no real advantage or disadvantage to choosing a side other than the fact that whether your team is whether your friends are part of a certain team, whether you want to go with a certain bird that you like, or it doesn't matter. It's just cool. It's cool that they associated to the legendary birds. That's what I think. So.
Yeah, I like the triangle, like the yellow. You know, I like to think of it as gold. You know, not so much yellow. You know,
exactly. There you go.
That was a good one for me too. So so what do you want to say about the regional? You know, going down to the water and jumping off cliffs and things like
exactly.
that?
No, not like that. Okay, there was a question that somebody asked earlier in the podcast about which ones are harder to catch, which ones are you know, easier or whatnot. There are something called regional Pokemon, and they're basically exclusive to a certain region. Like I brought up earlier, only in Europe you can only catch a Mr. Mime. Only in Australia you can catch a Kangaskhan. Only in China you can catch a Farfetch. So there are like specific Pokemon that can only be caught in those regions. It's a bummer for those who are trying to complete their Pokedex, but it's also awesome if they're diehards and if they want to travel for this game. But don't feel discouraged. Trading coming up soon. We don't know if it's going to be local trading. We don't know if it's going to be, you know, global trading like many of the Pokemon games have become. So don't be discouraged if you're trying to complete your Pokedex. Also, there's definitely rumors of the next generation, the Gold and Silver Pokemon, Generation 2, coming out in December. So if you're running out of Pokemon to catch for your for your Pokédex, well, there's going to be tons more coming soon. And finally, I guess the last thing we can talk about is battling. Don't feel discouraged if you want to battle and you can't take over a gym because it's so high. I believe local battles are coming where you can just battle with your friends, and you can, you know, just do it straight on right next to them. You don't have to go to a gym. But other than that, I mean, I guess because we're almost out of time, that is basically what I got for you guys. Unless you have any more questions.
Actually, I do have one more question. Can I ask one more question, Abe?
Of course, dude. I got all the time in the world. I know you're on a schedule, but anyways, go ahead.
Yes. So let me bring up this picture. So we have the apparently the accessory has been delayed or something like that. So
Pokemon Go Plus.
Do I need this? What does it do? Should I be asking my parents for this for Christmas? Does it matter?
Look, I mean, this is to be honest with you, I don't think you need it. I think it's personally, this is my opinion. Personally, it's a waste of money. But technically, it's supposed to make it a little easier for you to catch Pokemon in the sense that you don't need to have your phone out. If you're walking and you feel a vibration, you can literally just tap this thing and it'll help catch it already for you. Other than that, it's cool if you want to wear a little Pokemon accessory thing. It's not necessary. It really isn't. But for the diehard, they're going to pick it up no matter what. But yes, it was delayed, I believe, till late August. So
yeah, and it's probably when it does come out, it's probably going to be a hot ticket item. So if it is something that you're going to need to your collection or your Christmas list, asking Santa, you may want to be a good boy or girl now, so that you can ask that from Santa Claus and stuff.
I mean, to be honest, I'm all about looking at what I'm catching, not like, oh, I feel a vibration and I'm just gonna push this button thing. I mean, who knows? You might be getting a text or something. You never know, So it's it's like
it's that thing you're just hitting your chest. You're like, I'm trying to catch something.
Well, people are gonna be wearing it on their wrist apparently. So you wear it. They're gonna be constantly doing this. It's like, what's going on? Oh, I just felt a vibration. Oh, what's going on? Oh, I think I just caught a Pokemon. Oh, what's going on? It's cool. Like I said, it's a cool thing to have. I guess it's supposed to help with your pedometer rating too, for hatching Pokemon. But you can easily put it on a train like they're doing in Japan. Just hatch your bags that way too. So you don't need an accessory for that. But anyways, yeah. You can get it if you want, but is it necessary? Absolutely not. No.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, you guys have been great in chat, asking some awesome questions. I'm having a blast playing some Pokemon Go. I'm glad that Abe has kind of shown me the ropes, and make sure you can tweet them. Questions, if you have follow-ups, this will be archived on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoinOpTV. So you can ask questions also in the comments there as well. And maybe we'll do another one of these soon. Thanks a bunch, Abe. You're the Pokemaster of the day for me.
Yeah, no problem. happy to be a help.
And we'll see all the other Pokemasters in chat in the next live stream, probably on Friday or Saturday. We'll see how it goes. Thanks a bunch for watching for CoinOpTV. We'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.